What's up, my boy? We are in week 25. I was at the halfway mark of the year. And as you can see, today is a very special rooftop edition at my job because it's the last rooftop edition. It is Wednesday and the contract ends on Friday. So I'll be here today. I'll be home tomorrow, a remote day, and then I have to come in Friday to turn in the laptop. I mean, I guess I could leave it here like in the desk and, reach out on Friday and be like, hey, it's in the desk. I ain't coming up there, but I don't mind coming up here. According to Merriam-Webster, the word of the day is, I don't know if it's flotsam or floatsam, but it is debris and pieces that are left floating after a shipwreck. So, Titanic, do with that what you will, as I always say. We had another exceptional week. We're working out or whatever. And I guess this is the last whatever. I flip the camera once I finish snacking. We did everything. I had I know I did 4 spins. I worked out twice, of course. I was gonna work out today. I'm still not sure. I know I gotta get out of here early to beat traffic because we gotta get to Kaiser Boy. He passed his belt test last week, so we gotta go to the ceremony today, and I don't wanna be late. So I'm gonna get out of here about 4 o'clock. But my plan was to work out, but I don't know. Well, what I was doing, not editing, because we know I still ain't got the editing mess down yet, but listening to the previous videos and typing up like the caption, caption or whatever, descriptions that I put on the YouTube. So the last 2 weeks I went ahead and typed those up, and I uploaded, I think 22. I uploaded 22. 22 is already on there. I uploaded Joy. I uploaded 23. I just finished Mamba week last week, typing it up. So I just got to upload that one. So I'll upload that one, and I'll upload this one after we do Kaiser Boy. So this will be uploaded today as well. So I mean, we're doing all right. But yeah, 2 rucks, 2 gym sessions, 4 spins, and I haven't gotten the pool twice. Like, my boy, I've been on it. Again, I ain't been eating horrible. So I feel good. I gotta eat whatever. I think I definitely need my vitamins, and I ran out of protein, so I gotta get that back or whatever. But other than that, I feel pretty good. So that's it. We're working out. Like I say, the job ends fire. So of course, like I said, the work has been slowing down. So the right one's on the wall. I kind of felt it was coming. Cool. Ironically, like I said, I'm nervously excited for next week. That'll be the first week, like I say, where since the business has picked up. Like, of course, when I started it, like I said, I was just grabbing whatever, and I know I was taking jobs and being underpaid. But like, no, now I have my prices set. It is what it is. You pay them or you don't. I think we'll be fine. I know. I was actually doing a ruck last night, and I got a lead on the client, but I'll get back to that. Had a lead on the client. I couldn't message straight back, and it was like 20-30 minutes later, and so of course I go check to see if anybody else had responded or replied, and I think I said 2 of them had replied. So I was like, man, forget message, I'm gonna just call. So I called him like, hey, I know you spoke with the other pros, I'm very interested in the job, because he had like 8 items that needed to be done. I'm like, yo, that's some money there. So of course, normally when I message people, the first thing I say is, I am interested, and we can get on the same page. Can you send me the picture of the model so I can know how complex or easy it is? Which I'll get to a mistake I made with that later. And so I'm doing the I call him, we're rapping, and he's like, yeah man, so can you give me a quote? I'm like, 8 items, this is my price, you know. And I still went a little lower than I wanted to, but with what it was paying, man, what I was charging, and I got the, you know what, bro, even if that thing took me 12 hours, that's more than half of what I get paid in a week. So I'm like, 12 hours for that, bro, we good. Like, keeping it hot with you, for that kind of money, I would have drove 2 hours away easily. So he was like, oh nah man, I ain't trying to pay all that or whatever. The other guys quoted lower. And again, I'm like, all right, well, I appreciate your business anyway, have a good one. Hang up, cool. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 8 hours later, SpongeBob voice. Like I say, I get a call and I see his number, because like I said, I had called him earlier. I'm like, wait a minute, I know that's Buddy from earlier. What he calling me for? So I answer and I'm like, hello, what's going on? And he like, hey man, you know, I'm still interested or whatever. I really want to get this stuff done, you know, if you could do it for me, but I just ain't trying to, I don't want to feel like I'm getting robbed. All right, okay. He was like, well, can I send you the stuff that I have? Because I don't think it's that complex. Like, again, I'm cool with getting it done, but I don't want to feel like I'm getting robbed. And I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot. So yeah, send it to me. I was like, I normally do that anyway, but you know, we spoke verbally versus us messaging. So yeah, send me it. So he emailed me everything, and I'm like, because I know it was a desk. It was 3 like lawn chairs, not lawn chairs, like lounge chairs or whatever for like your patio or whatever. Desk, lounge chairs, bookcase, some shelves, like a cabinet. Desk, 3 chairs, bookcase, cabinet, a grill, and one more thing. And so, like I said, he sends them to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, those chairs are super simple. Like, I'm not charging what I normally charge for those chairs. Like, I could get the boys to do that for real, without no instructions, and they can knock it out. This is like a rolling desk, almost like more so like a dinner table, like a rolling dinner table dinner tray that somebody eats their food off of. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's not a desk. I'm not gonna charge what I normally charge for a desk. So I'm like, yeah, I could, you know, knowing how long it's gonna take, I'm like, yeah, I could. It's not gonna take as much time as I thought. I can give him a discount on that. So he hit me back. I hit him back, and I'm like, hello? He's like, yeah, man, did you get them? Like, yeah, I got it. And I was like, you're right. Those items, and knowing how long it'll take, I definitely won't charge what I quoted you at first. I was like, I could definitely knock it down. So he was like, how much? I mean, you know, I can knock. I told him I can knock off, and he was like, okay, yeah, I can work with that. That's fair. I'm like, cool, you know. And I was like, but you see what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't know that some of the items you were talking about were that simple. Like, usually they're a little more complex. And he's like, yeah, no, I totally understand. That's why I was like, man, for this. And he was like, you know, I'm a veteran, and I have cancer, and I just don't have the energy. Like, you know, I can do this stuff, but man, like, you know, my cancer and treatment and stuff, it takes a lot of my energy. I'm like, man, again, leave it to me. That's why I name my business that. That's fine. I ain't got no problem knocking it out for you. So he was like, I appreciate you. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. He said he had to call his wife. And I said it was almost 11 o'clock. So waiting to hear back from him. So we'll see. So this past week, the jobs for last week were that closet that I had did for my classmates, people. Like I said, I knew, like, this ain't solid. Like, so I went, I got a new bracket set, like $25, $30, maybe $30 total. Got the new bracket set, found the studs, put everything in, and like, it's a closet, but even still, like, I did a mini, like, once I got it up there, I'm like, yeah, this feels a lot more sturdy. And I even kind of like did a little jump, you know, not all my body weight, but tested it to see if it felt sturdy. I'm like, yeah, your clothes gonna be good on this one, Miss Lady. Like, we good, I got you. And so I'm like, yeah. This is fine. You can put all your clothes up there now. So that felt good to know. Like, again, I'm like, yeah, I got it up at first, but I'm like, this not solid or sturdy. So it's like I was questioning myself if I could do it, because even though I did it, this ain't, reliable. And then when I did it with the, new stuff, I'm like, yeah, nope. So I feel confident having that on my, saying I had that in my tool belt and the services I can offer. Smooth. So I have that now. And so this is where I messed up at this past weekend, right? Me and the lady had a wrap. She was off of, the app I use typically. Nah, I'm done eating. I can switch camera. Use. And so I'm like, all right. I don't remember what I was doing when I gave her the quote, but she said it was 2 beds. Sent them to me. First one, regular platform or sleigh. I don't know. But a regular bed, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not. The other one, I see this headboard, but I'm not really paying attention. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give my regular price or whatever. Like, yeah, there's gonna be this much or whatever. Cool. And she's like, yeah, definitely, I'll take that. So I get there. Most beds come in 1 or 2 boxes. If it's super simple, it's gonna be 1 box. If it got a little bit to it, it's gonna be 2 boxes. I done did adjustable bases, all kind of stuff. Never have I ever seen a full-size bed that came in 3 boxes. So when I seen that, I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold up. All 3 of these for this bed? She's like, yeah. Hold up, go back and look at the picture she sent. And I'm like, oh no, I made a mistake. What I charged you, I should have charged you double. Really 2.5 times that, because it was a full-size bed. So of course I'm putting a regular bed frame together. Bunch of screws, cam locks, all that crap. So I'm like, oh my God, this is going to take a while. Look at the bed. You got the regular bed frame. It has a trundle bed you got to put together to go under the bed that you can slide out for the kid. Her son has company. Then it has 2 drawers. You got to put the 2 drawers together. Then it has 2 bookcases that go on the side of the bed, and the middle piece that connect to the 2 bookcases. Oh no, I made a vast mistake. Like I say, most beds, simple bed, I'm gonna get done in between an hour and 2. This bed took me 5.5 hours. So I'm there. This already was like an hour away. Almost an hour away from, no, it was over an hour. About an hour and a half, actually. It was about an hour and a half away from me. So I'm trying to, hey, let's get this knocked out so I can get on about my business. So I think I got there at like, did we start at 2 or 3? I feel like we started at 2. I started at 2. Like I said, it took me about 5.5. So that would put me at 7. That put me at 7. No, I got there a little bit late. Because I remember I stopped at the gas station and took a break and got something to eat. So I think I started at closer to like almost 3-ish, 2:30ish, 3-ish. So like, let's say 5.5. It was about 8 o'clock or whatever, somewhere around 8:30 when I get everything together and finish. And I'm like, cool, I'm gonna keep grinding. Like I'm not, because I'm not trying to come back up here. I'm like, yeah, the other bed, I know they'll take me an hour, maybe hour and a half, but I'm here. Like, let's knock this out. She was like, yeah. Something about, I thought she had to drop her son off, maybe to his dad. She said something with custody. So I'm like, that's not custody, Shane. I know that. That sounds like you got to take him to his dad or other parent, whatever. And so she was like, yeah, so can we finish the other one tomorrow? Who? Come back. I'm like, no, I don't want to come back here. I'm fine with finishing now. So, but, yeah, that's fine. We can do it tomorrow. So, I get home, because I stopped and I got something to eat on the way home. Took me, like I said, about an hour and a half. So I get home at like 10 something, 11. Man, I can't believe I gotta go back up there tomorrow. So drive back up there. Bed took an hour and 10 minutes. I'm like, see, sir, your bed, the price that I gave for your bed, for your son's bed, I shouldn't have gave. And her friend was there with her. They would get some stuff together and like organizing and decorating. And so the friend was like, your bed is really nice. It's down the 3rd. And I was like, told the friend, like, see how long this bed took? She was like, yeah, like an hour. I said, tell your friend how long that bed took. She was like, he was like 5, almost 6 hours. She was like, what? Then, she showed her like all the drawers. He had to put the drawers together, the trundle bed, the 2 bookcases. And I'm like, yeah, that was 4 or 5 things. And I charged the same price for both. And the friend even looked like, oh, yeah, you shot yourself in the foot. And I'm like, yeah, I did. But, hey, that's on me as a business owner. I got to pay better attention moving forward. So she also wanted, she had a circle mirror. She was like, how much you charge to hang up a circle mirror? I have to really look. Because now I'm hanging stuff and I don't, like, again, my job is assembly. I know what I charge for assembly. I don't know what a art or like TV hanger typically charges or whatever. So I just be like, that ain't gonna take that long. And I charge, and I think I'm underselling myself. So I was like, between this and this for the mirror or whatever. And she was like, well, let's split hairs. She gave a price. I'm like, nah, I charged this. She was like, well, it's cool. We fell right in the middle. It was fine, like $5-10 difference. I'm like, that's cool. But even then, I'm like, what I charge, especially with the discount you got on that bed, I should have charged you twice as much as I said for this mirror. Live and learn, whatever. So, knock that out or whatever. Get back, and that's when I finished the closet system later that night. Like I said, it took me maybe like 2 hours. Not hard at all. So I feel confident if somebody need that closet, I started applying for those jobs as well. I had a regular bed frame for another couple last week. They were beyond appreciative. I think that one took me, around an hour and a half or 2. And like, it looked super simple, and it was, but again, sometimes I don't pay, the most attention to detail with instructions. So it was like, the bed was like rocking. I was doing the headboard, and it had like 3 poles, a middle one and 2, of course, for the outside for the headboard. And I'm like, dang, this thing kind of off a little bit. So I was like, I'll show them when I finished. Luckily, I didn't have to, because I like went to attach something else, and I'm like, oh, I see. It was like, so it had holes for, like, on all sides, like all the way around. So on 4 sides, one here, holes here, holes here, holes here, holes here. But the holes on, let's say, horizontal versus vertical, let's say it had 2 here on going like on this side, 2 on each side this way, and then it was like 3 or 4 this way. And so on one, I had it in the 2 that goes this way, and then on the other one, I had it in the 3 to go that way. And that wasn't set at the same height. So I'm like, man, this bed rocking. And I look at them, oh, fool, you don't got them on the same thing. You got to rotate it. So I rotated, boom, it bounced out fine. Finished putting everything together. The house was really nice. They had very nice decor. They got me to, I need to get my decor together. Because like I said, I don't want to be here for at least another year. Let me start working on my decor, hanging stuff up. So finished that. They were very appreciative, gave me a nice tip. Everything was cool. And so I had that job. And then I almost forgot about that one. That complex chair thing I said that I had to do, the chest dare mix, they reached back out to me. And again, I did that from memory, so I wasn't all the way mad at myself. What's today? Wednesday. So I actually went yesterday. We worked it out. And after I got off work, ran up there, because the way it look, armrests usually go like this, like in front. Your armrests go like this and down. But this chair, the way, because of how it is, and like we tested and everything before I left, but not fully, I put the armrest forward because I'm like, that makes logical sense to me, and it fit in the little whatever thing, but it was supposed to go backwards. So the armrest come this way and back, and so it's like straight in a drop versus a slant going forward. You don't slant forward, it goes straight and drops forward, and the armrests are here, and the slant goes to the back. I put it backwards and slant forward so your arms go there, so it wouldn't recline and go all the way forward and backwards. So they reached out and like, can you fix this? And I'm like, Lord, I ain't trying to go back up there. That's the hour and some change away. And I'm like, well, you went before, and you spent almost 6 hours working on it, because I had to go to the first place to take it apart, put it in my car, drive an hour and some change to them. That took another 2 hours, 2.5 to put it back together. And I'm like, you ain't got to pick it up. You ain't got to move it. You're going and you're swapping out armrests. So it's not going to take nowhere near as long. So I drove up there. Again, I was some change away, get in there. It took me 30 minutes. Like, boom, take the arms off, get them balanced, put them back in. I think it literally was 1 large bolt. Loosen the bolt, take them, switch the arms, and 2 screws at the bottom. Unscrew the 2 screws, so 6 things total, you know what I'm saying? To 12, because I had to unscrew them and re-screw them or whatever. And it was fine. They were very appreciative. And I was going to do it because it was my mistake. I'm like, I'm going to have to just take this hit. This is a free job. Boom. Husband, here, man, I know you were a little further away, so this is, and they had told me about this Indian place, and they, of course, like a lot of Indian and foreign places like that, as far as I know, they do cater to non-meat eaters, vegetarians, and stuff like that as well. So they had like some chicken masala when I was up there, and I'm like, whatever that is, smell amazing. They're like, your chicken masala is from this restaurant or whatever. I think it's like Old Calcutta. You should try it. So the day that I worked up there, like I said, that thing took like 6-7 hours all in, 7 to 8, including the commute to the house to get it, to the city to put it back together, and then back home. Like, nah. So when I finished, I was like, bro, I'm going home. I'm not stopping at the restaurant. I'm tired. Whatever. I eat some fries. So I just took that loss. So it wasn't late. It was earlier in the daytime this time or whatever. And so I head up there. Cool, knocked the job out. He was like, yeah, man, you can try. He was like, yeah, you had some good food up there. I was like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, I didn't. Like, I was tired. I went home. And I was like, but I'm not in a rush today. I'm definitely going to get it. So I finished the job. Yeah, man, get you some lunch. I appreciate you coming out as well. I'm like, man, this is way more than I plan to make for, coming up here and just doing that. Worth my time, worth the drive. So I leave, drive downtown to the restaurant. Why they closed? They don't open till like another hour and a half or two. And I'm like, nope, not doing that. So I was like, whatever. It ain't meant for me to get this restaurant. I just take this loss. I'm going home. So, and I got to rush back because, like I say, so after me and my homegirl was talking about the jobs, and I'm telling her, like, I'm, actually nervously excited. Like, I keep saying that. I'm nervously anxious or excited to see how next week goes. I'm just getting more and more business, and I'm not upping my leads. I feel like up my leads, I'm going to get seeing more people, come my way. And I made some adjustments. So, like, on some of the jobs that I did when I first started, I'll have, like, 2 or 3 pictures of the things that are disassembled, and then, like, 1 or 2 pictures of what I assembled. And when I had, I think, like 20-something pictures to add from the jobs I've done since the last time I uploaded. So I went to upload them, and I was already at the limit. So I was like, yeah, but no, I got new stuff on there. I'm putting this stuff on there. So I went back and saw, like I said, how many duplicates I had, and like, this kind of redundant. And I took a lot of the duplicate pre-assembly pictures off. And so I think what I'll end up doing, since I'm out now, when I get newer stuff that I haven't done to add, like I put, I've done put up some TVs. I got 2 I put up at my house, the one I put up for the client. So I put TVs on there so people can see, especially like I had been saying, I know over a month ago, I got to learn these TVs because some people are like, man, I need this, that, and the third put together and 2 TVs. What? Boy, let me get a job where I got to put together 2 beds, 2 dressers, and hang up 3 TVs. Please and thank you. We are in the game. Like, man, come on. That's some money. So anyway, I erased the duplicates and put up the new pictures. So got that on there, and so yeah, on my way back, I had to get back or whatever. I got a bunch of stuff on Marketplace. I got some plants yesterday. I got some fish rods since the kids want to go fish, and all for free. So it's been cool, man. Marketplace, we've been here this week. But I was like, I could have waited for the restaurant, but I wasn't trying to wait. I wanted to get back home anyway, and we ended up going to the pool yesterday too. Like I said, it's been, even now, like I'm pretty sure, I stepped out earlier. I was on the phone. I was outside for 20 minutes, stepped back in, look, whole chest wet. Matter of fact, yeah, you see, and I'm chilling in the shade, but it's that hot. It's been 90 plus like the last 5 days. So we went to the pool. I know I was taking them to the pool yesterday or whatever, and I had to make those stops to pick that stuff up. So what I was saying was, when I was on phone with my homegirl telling her I was ready for next week, I was like, now, I'm not saying that I'm not going to take the job, but it has to be paying a certain thing. Like, because I know me, I don't feel good when I feel like I'm settling financially. So, like, again, I'm on the other side of my mid-30s or whatever, and some of the money I'm accepting is like, bro, I was making that 5 years ago. Like, that's stagnant. And complacency and stagnation, I need to get out of my life. So if I'm not gonna lock in to money, especially now with the business going, if, knock on wood, if the business ain't doing what I needed to do, and Lyft ain't balancing it out, then of course, if a job coming up, really don't want to. But at this point, no, I'm that confident in the business that I'm gonna be making what I need to make to pay my bills, and I'll make more doing that. Of course, some weeks will be better than others, but I think with it balancing out, I'll make more doing my business than I will locking in to the money that I, was making or what they're offering. So, like I said, we get off the phone on Monday, because it's Wednesday. 30 minutes later, I get a call. Hello? On my personal phone, not the business phone. I'm like, hello? And they're like, hi, is this E? I'm like, yeah, this is E. Who am I speaking with? How can I help you? This is such and such, from this recruiting agency, and I'm seeing if you're still in the market. I know that you worked with this place before, the place I got laid off from, actually. I know you work contracts with them before, and you all have a pretty decent relationship from my understanding. I'm like, Yeah, I worked contracts with them in 21 and 22, and I actually worked permanent 23 to 24. I just, got laid off in December. And so she's like, yeah, so they had this position. I guess I applied for it. I feel like I might have in passing, maybe. I don't know. If I did, it didn't say that company. So I'm like, I don't know. Or they might have just seen me. Either way, she's like, yeah, so I feel you'd be a great fit. You kind of got some experience, whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I was in my, what they paying? I know I can do the job. Like, every job I've had there, I didn't have experience before. And I excelled at every one of them. And I have experience at this, so I know I can do it. No issue. Y'all gonna get a great employee, but you're not getting me for pennies on the dollar, like, a value of a fraction of my worth, what I know I'm worth now. And so she's like, yeah, I think it starts off at this. And I'm like, again, it feels good to say this. I was like, yeah, no, I'm more than interested in the job, but that, I can't take it for that pay. Like, that's a significant pay cut from what I'm doing now, the contract that I'm currently on, and what I was getting paid there. I can't go down like that to, take care of my family myself. And so she's like, oh, okay. And you can kind of see, like, well, I'm going to see if he going to bite, whatever. And I'm like, all right, well, thank you anyway. So we get off the phone, and she's like, well, can I send you the job description? I'm like, yeah, send it. So she sent me the job description. And I look, and I'm like, yeah, I could do this in my sleep. This would be beyond easy. Like, no problem. And so I'm like, I'm interested if the pay can be increased. If they can increase the pay, then I'd love to, whatever. So another one of her coworkers hit me back like, hey, so, yeah, you spoke to her. This is me. I want to set you up an interview. Is that cool? I'm like, yeah, you set it up. She, cool. Can you do tomorrow? So now in my head. All right. I said, I'm going to knock that out early. I know it ain't going to take that long. Even if it do, like, if I'll be back. I got to run and get something to eat, do whatever, and go take 30 minutes. I know this interview ain't going to take that long. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We can do it tomorrow. So that's why I wasn't going to stay. I had that interview. So rushed back, knocked the interview out. Now, of course, like, I got on the button up now, whatever, and I did it in a restaurant. I was fine with doing it in a restaurant or whatever. Like, it wasn't loud. I had on my headphones. I felt like that was fine. But the freaking button up that I wanted to wear, I don't know where I put it. I said it somewhere. I remember, like, that morning as I was getting ready, I said it somewhere. I'm like, I can put this in the car, whatever. I thought I threw it in my back seat, get there. Ain't got nothing on but a black tee. So I'm like, you know what? If it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. Ain't nobody saying nothing about it increasing the money anyway. So I ain't tripping either way. So went through, and they're asking questions about, some stuff I have on my resume, the things that I've learned with, like, using Excel in this job. And I'm like, yep, boom, boom. Able to, regurgitate and spit that out just fine. They're talking about, asking questions. We only got to do the STAR method. Again, they see, like, I've done just what you're saying. I've done this before. And other things. I know the systems. I was just there 5-6 months ago. So they're like, asking questions, like, what did you, boom. I'm like, yeah, okay, you got this. And what did you do in this role? I did this, blah, blah, blah. I opened accounts, when my first contract, like, so what systems? I've used these systems. I know the systems. So you like, just a refresher, and we'd be in the game and good to go. Like, so all right, like I said, so it was a good interview. They did say they had some more people to interview today, and I think tomorrow, and they were like, you'll definitely hear back yay or nay by Friday. Like I say, so presentation matters, because I had on a tee. Well, I didn't have this on. I had on the headphones though. So, I had on a tee or whatever, which didn't mean to. But that could factor in. But if you're talking just, that is one of those, like, experience and whatever else. One, I worked for y'all on 3 different occasions with good history. Done what you're asking. I have direct experience. You know what I'm saying? So, like, as I was saying, I know last week, I was like, I ain't, really built up no whatever. I don't know why and how, but me and this freaking company, I know I said it, like I said, literally the day after, or like, no, it wasn't the day, it was 2 months after, because I had did applications before my layoff even happened. And so I was like, I remember, this was it January or February? I think it was February, and I was like, man, you know what, I'm done with that company, like, that chapter of my life, nothing bad, but like, I think that chapter of my life is over, not really trying to go back there, whatever. I said it. I remember I was going to get lunch at, I think, like TGI Fridays or something. So I go sit down to eat lunch. While I'm at lunch, Dave sent the email, and it's like, hey, we want to set up an interview with you tomorrow. And I'm like, are you freaking joking? Well, I guess I ain't done with this company. And I interviewed with the recruiter. Recruiter like, yeah, no. Again, it was experience I already had at this company. So it was like, yeah, the manager had really wanted to talk to you months ago, but the HR person that had this job, they, I guess, fell off with staying on top of their job because they knew they was leaving or whatever. I just got it. He didn't want to speak to you, so this is a formality. This ain't gonna take but 5 or 10 minutes, whatever. So we interviewed. it was a jump in pay from what I was making. Like, oh, we get that, but we okay, because we was just all right anyway. We get that. Hang on now. So I was excited or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And still like, I don't know, I'm trying to negotiate a little bit more. But it was a jump, even if I didn't negotiate. You know, with experience, I felt kind of okay. Like, hey, you know, does my experience, what I have, what I've had, you know, the certification that I did have, does that move the needle a little bit from the bottom? So, like I said, that went by, whatever. And I don't know, man. It's like, I know now, like, the whole time I worked, I was 100% remote. I know they were having to push back to hybrid. So, like I said, we'll see. But more than anything, you gotta open up that pocketbook. You know, so they call Friday and they offer. It depends on what they're saying financially. And I'm at peace with, for the first time, it's like, I've never been in a position before where I don't have a job. That's the only prospect I've had. That's the only interview I've had. But if they aren't saying the numbers I want to hear, I feel more than confident. You know, I thank you, but we can't get to the same, you know, level of pay that I need. And there's no other jobs. I have no other interviews. No, you know, of course I've been doing applications or whatever, but nobody else did reach back or nothing pending. And I'm perfectly fine with saying no to guaranteed. That's nice. So, yeah. Hyde, you killing me. I'm gonna call him back. He probably coming here next week. Please don't let my shit here when I'm very blurred. Oh, my partner Hyde called, so it interrupted. But yeah, like, I feel more than confident. Like, no, I'll be fine and I'll wait. I've never been in a position before where I could afford to wait. And, you know something better will come through. So, like I say, man, just in a different place to be this confident and comfortable, where it's like, no, thank you, but no thank you if the number isn't there. And I feel good because, like, if that ain't for me, especially if I get that call and that offer and it's not the number, I feel good because somebody else going to get that call after they get off with me, and they're going to be excited. Like, man, I needed this, whether they were the first candidate or not. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be their blessing. So for me to be able to move out of the way and let somebody else, because this job market is not the one or the two, as they say, but to be able to get out of the way, and because my circumstances have changed and I'm in a different position and that doesn't suit me anymore and my needs, I can say no to that with no other guarantee besides what I'm building, and somebody else can get that call to change, you know, their circumstances, whether it be a single person, they got a family, whatever they got going on. Man, this, and that feels so good, man, to know. So, like I say, and I cannot get that call. Either way, the call doesn't hinder me or affect me next week. Like I say, the only way to fix me is if they call with the right number. If they call and they don't have the right number, or if they don't call, I go along with the same plan I had before. So that feels super cool, man. But yeah, last week here, man, like I said, Rooftop out here sweating like a slave. Let me see what time it is, because I ain't sure if like I said, I want to go get a little workout in, but I know me, I don't know how to do a little workout. I take forever. So we'll see if I can get the run down here and get going, and knock something out. I don't know. If I did, what we talking, because I have to be out of here by 4. I gotta be gone by 4:30. I'll be in too much traffic. So 4, get me home, grab the boys, and go. So I don't know, man. Nah, I take the day off. I ain't even gonna try to rush and do all that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna upload this, put the caption in, and go on about my business. But yeah, man, we at peace. Like I say, got that job pending. I know tomorrow I got a job in the morning. I got to go to South Carolina. So like I say, man, the job's coming through. Still waiting to hear back. Like I said, with those chandeliers, so I got to look those up. I ain't gonna put no chandelier up. I don't know how to hold top people. I don't know why that is funny to me. I be saying that and thinking that randomly all the time. But yeah, I gotta figure out how to do these chandeliers if I get it. Even if I don't, I still want to learn that and doing fans. Like I said, drywall repair. Just, man, I'm becoming a handyman, and that's something that I'm battling with. Like, I'm fine with it because I like it. Like, I had a friend I hadn't spoke to in a while. We were talking on Sunday when I had the kids at the pool, or texting rather, and she was like, "Yeah, you know what do you do for work now?" And like I say, versus when I first started a few months ago, before I got this job or whatever, and like I say, I'm doing Lyft or something, somebody be like, like, what do you do? And I'm like, or outside of Lyft, what do you do? And I'm like, I started, a little furniture assembly business or whatever. And I had no pride about it. Like, I don't have a title. And then when I got the job, like, I think I said this last week, it was like, I'm operations analyst or whatever. And so I felt good, like, all right. But now that I see, the success and what I could do, and I just like what I'm doing, and I'm proud of it. So when she asked, she's like, well, I didn't even say I'm still technically an operations analyst for 48 more hours. And she was like, what do you do? And I was like, not even I own a business. I was like, I put furniture together. And she was like, wait, what? Like, message back, like, what? Oh, what you mean? And I was like, you know how people order furniture, like off Wayfair, IKEA, Walmart, Amazon, wherever people order stuff. I put it together. And she was like, I thought you were doing something else. I was like, yeah, I was working in financial services. She was like, so what's the plan? To keep putting furniture together? Like, that's it. I'm a furniture assembler. Now, I don't even got to own it. I like putting stuff together. And I have that same pride in saying that now that I had in being a compliance, whatever, an analyst of any sort. Like, I just put furniture together. I don't care what nobody think about it. That's what I do. I just put furniture together. That's it. So, like, I feel so good, man, where I'm at in life now, whatever. I got to get my money, my nest egg where I want. That's the only thing. And that was like why I was looking for, or why I was excited about this job. Like, all right, cool, that'll cover the bills, so everything goes. I can get my nest egg where I needed to be by the time the contract ends. But no, because like I say, I do this right. I'll make more money doing the business than I would at work doing this job anyway. So if I make more money doing the business, I can increase my nest egg faster. So, no, it happened when it was supposed to. We good, and we're going to grind it out, man. And like I said, especially, I'm excited. I know, like I said, next week will be like a test. I really feel like once I get closer to like the end of July, and I've been doing it like 3-4 weeks solid, like straight. Again, unless somebody come and they like, hey, boom, we're trying to pay you this and hold now. I'm still rocking with my business, but if this gonna jump me up, to this right here, guaranteed, to the point where like really, whether I'm doing a business or not, we solid. Like, even with the business and doing this job, and like I said, this job don't even pay what I was making at the other job. It's a noticeable drop off or decrease. So even with that difference or whatever, because of the business like picking up, like, bruh, I be looking and what I would race downtown for to make, like I say, with Lyft before to be, it's not enough. I'm cool. And just sit there with the boys, that feels good. Like, I haven't consistently lifted, I think, in, good God almighty, I don't even know when the last time like I really did a night, not even a weekend, a night of full lifting. I feel like it's been at least over a month. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me. Like, nah, I was boom running to get there. And they're like, okay, let me look. Oh no, I made this with the business. This week I done made twice what I was gonna try to make. Or I done made what I was trying to make in 2 weeks with Lip. I'm good, bro. We chilling. I ain't running out there. So, you know what I'm saying? If you and somebody jump up more than this or more than I was making at the company I was working for, and I was making more there than I am here, and we're gonna pay you this. All right. Cool. So again, that's gone. Like I say, Lyft had to be doing something crazy, like it's 10, 15, 20 extra dollars per ride downtown, and I can run downtown real quick and make $100, $200 in, like I say, an hour or two. Come on now, I'm gonna go get that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta be out there all night, and I can make just an extra two that we ain't even like need nothing for, and I could boom, do something with the kids, put it up in, like I said, the nest egg, whatever. I'm gonna go get that. But other than it being that, man, especially like I said, we jumped the numbers up, bro. It's straight business. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna do my thing at this job, I'm gonna knock this out, cause that's gonna cover all the bills and the nest egg, and then I got the business, and that's the nest egg, and we could really get into, doing some fun stuff, man. Come on, dog, you can't. I'm so excited for the position I'm in, man. I know I ain't seen it in a few weeks. I'm gonna stop by. Actually, I'm thinking Friday or this weekend, and just rap with Miss Maria for a minute, because I haven't seen her. I know in a few weeks or whatever, I ain't been stopping by as much, because like I said, with some days, not every day, but some days when I get home, or like I say, with a couple of days, man, I be having jobs to run and do, after work. So it's like, boom, I was working. I know she leave, I think about like 6 a.m. So by the time I finish with the job, she going anyway. Like today, no, I gotta home and back and hurry up, karate, boom. She gonna be gone by the time we finish karate. But tomorrow, I got time to stop by tomorrow. But I'm thinking more so Friday, because Friday, I come here, I'm gonna get me a workout in. Once I get my workout in, I'm gonna drop the laptop off, because I got no work to do, and I'll be done. So it'll be early in the day unless another job comes through, you know what I mean? So, man, week 25, bro. I'm so excited for week 26 and 27 because 26, like I said, that'll be the first week where I can at least say, and the way I'm thinking my schedule's gonna go, Monday's gonna be because Monday your budget starts over with Untech or whatever. So Monday's gonna typically be the day where I'm trying to, get my schedule together for the week. I may get some jobs on Monday because, I'll be rapping to somebody like, if you can come today, I'm on the way right now, give me your address, I'm already in the car. But, that's not gonna always be the case, and I'm fine with that. So if that's not the case, then like I say, Monday, work out, chill with the boys, see if they got something they want to do, get my schedule together. Then hopefully, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and, depending on the money, Sunday too. If I got something them other 6 days, hey, let's go make it shake or whatever. But Monday, we'll lock in. So by the time we get to Wednesday, like I said, I may have done a job Monday, Tuesday. And hopefully, if everything goes as planned, that'll be what 26 will be. I'll be saying, man, I did this on Monday, 2 jobs Monday, 2 jobs Tuesday, and I'm about to go. I'm driving to the Wednesday job right now. That would be ideal and dope. You know what I'm saying? But if that's not the case, then at least hopefully by the time we get to Wednesday, if I ain't had nothing Monday and Tuesday, I might do a little light lift or whatever. Put some money in my pocket, you know what I'm saying? Something in the kitty, as drama would say. And then by the time Wednesday, I'm doing this Wednesday, I got this schedule for Thursday, this for Friday, whatever. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I got more that I'm gonna put into it that'll advertise me to more people. And there'll be more conversations because they can see me, but hopefully those conversations leads to jobs. I'm getting more hires. So we'll see, man. But like I say, beyond excited. And so like I said, that'll be next week. And then that following week, 27, would be like the second, or I'll be saying what I did for 26. So I think more so 28, because 28 will be 2 full weeks of I done been locked in and doing this thing. And, the first week, like I said, next week, and we'll fill it out. That week after 27, I did all this week. And then 27, I'll be done on from 26. You know what I'm saying? All right, these are the adjustments we need to make, whatever. And we'll see, man. But leave it to me, baby. Who knew? You know what I'm saying? That this would be, like I say, even still, with the bookkeeping thing. And that too, the homegirl that I said I was talking to about, and, that I was doing assembly or whatever, she's an accountant now. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to need your help with that, like learning some accounting principles and bookkeeping. She was like, oh yeah, that's super easy, I got you. And like, she's somebody that always has been reliable when we were in communication, and she come through. So I'm going to really lock in with her, especially like I said, let's say next Monday I don't have like any job scheduled or whatever. If her schedule allows, then I'll lock in with her and boom, let's do some of this bookkeeping stuff, or, point me in the right direction. And my other homegirl, Katie, I know she do like videos and stuff like that, more tech savvy. So I was telling her, like, I really need to learn this for my, I ain't say that I'd be posting videos and stuff like this and I plan on doing my content. But she was like, yeah, I got you. And we be locking in. And she was like, we can do lunch. We've done that anyway. So that'll be it, man. I get them going, get this bookkeeping, and, really start working on my video editing and get my videos together and putting this content up. We in the game. So I got 2 subscribers. Hey, 2 subscribers. I don't know who y'all are, but thanks for rocking with me. That's week 25 in the books. Be kind to yourself, my boy. And remember, everything we're working on is overnights with an S, not overnights. I love you.